It has never been more clear as we have multiple new updates, including a massive report surrounding Andrew Wiggins as it pertains to the Los Angeles Lakers and following what's going to be a crazy day of reports of trades. It is draft day, but new reports have dropped surrounding Andrew Wiggins. And not only have fans fire up, but folks, it has never been more clear that a huge move is on the horizon in the coming hours and days. We're going to break that down and discuss what this means going forward, as well as a few other things. So before we get into it, if you're part of the percentage aren't subscribed to the channel, you guys have been an absolute beast with the support. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your continued support over here as we're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. And of course, smaller goal, 25,000 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to go over today. And we're talking about a very interesting player. The draft is in a few hours, and we're going to see how the Lakers end up shaping up surrounding a trade here. But new reports have dropped. There's a ton to go over here. And folks, it has never been more clear the Lakers' most obvious target in the world, and it is Andrew Wiggins, as the Lakers are favorites to land Andrew Wiggins in a trade per Bovada official. But not only are they favorites, a bunch of new reports have dropped within this afternoon and hours ago, even into minutes ago, revealing that the Heat are actively shopping Andrew Wiggins. And the Lakers have been on the on the Andrew Wiggins train for a while. Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of rumblings, a lot of rumors about the Lakers, being interested in acquiring Andrew Wiggins. And you can see this here. The Miami Heat are exploring trades for Andrew Wiggins. It could deal him for an expiring contract in order to have max level cap space in 2026. You can see here from Austin Reaves, we have all the expirings. Folks, it makes almost too much sense right now and how things are lining up here. Like, everything is falling into place perfectly for this Los Angeles Lakers team, because not only is a player that was on the Lakers' radar available for trade officially as of a couple hours ago from Shams and from everybody, the Lakers, like, the package that the Heat want back isn't a young player. It isn't a ton of assets. It is just matching salary so that they can basically dump Andrew Wiggins and then open up a full max, contract, super max offer, so I guess max offer to somebody in free agency in 2026. And we've seen the way that the Heat have been operating. They didn't make a move for Kevin Durant. They haven't made moves for a lot of the guys that they definitely probably should have made moves for in order to propel them to a championship. Traded Jimmy Butler to the Warriors last trade deadline. The team has been a bit of a joke lately. And this report is absolutely great news, because not only do the Lakers have expirings, there's one player in particular that fits this mold perfectly, and it is Rui Hachimura, who we'll dive into in a minute. But I want to dive into a report from a Heat reporter here, kind of diving into the advanced, some of the intel surrounding the Andrew Wiggins trade, because it directly correlates to the Lakers. Add a veteran. This is for the Heat's goals. Add a veteran who can help share some of the scoring load without sacrificing much cap flexibility. And though Riley said in May that avoiding triggering the repeater tax isn't a priority per se, I think we'll probably try to get out of the tax and then get back and reset in 26-27. The Heat are barely below the tax line, with Mitchell counting $8.7 million for now, but could clear out $10 million in cap space by cutting Duncan by July 8th, should they choose to, if he hasn't been traded first. And it's something that you guys might notice while I was reading that, someone who can help share the scoring load. Ladies and gentlemen, I think a Rui Hachimura for Andrew Wiggins trade here makes a ton of sense. And there's been some reports and some rumblings lately on Jovan Buha's podcast and on some Jovan Buha stuff, obviously Lakers insider, formerly of The Athletic, basically saying the Lakers are very interested in Andrew Wiggins. They're very involved in the Andrew Wiggins talks. But not only that, they are interested in trading potentially Rui Hachimura for Wiggins in that deal. And what that does for the Lakers, it gives you a player who is a much better defender. Like Wiggins, despite his early season, obviously the number 1 overall pick, Canadian kid, all these things, he really turned into a strong defender in Golden State. And that was something that, Steve Kerr helped instill into his mind, Draymond Green. And since then, has kind of kept up a similar level of defense. Like, he's still a very, very good defender, but they're looking for trades that open up cap space. Rui Hachimura makes a ton of sense. And heading into draft night, the ground for the NBA Finals is fertile. Whether or not the Miami Heat will factor into that all remains to be seen. Like, this is a trade that could happen tonight. It could happen into the coming weeks. And if the recent reporting is any indication, the Lakers may have just emerged as somewhat of a surprise suitor for the versatile wing. Not that surprising if you've been keeping up to date with the Lakers news, but according to Lakers reporter Anthony Irwin, the Lakers checked in on Wiggins. It's not known to what extent the talks went or even if they're still active, but the Lakers at the very least inquired about the asking price. And they have been active, as of late as well. And folks, it's just such a perfect fit for, the Lakers here. They have expirings. They need someone like Wiggins who can kind of command and be a veteran 3 and D, I guess. He's a bit of a 3-level scorer as well. Like, he still has some, pep in his step here. I still think he's very capable of being an extremely, good player. And, the exact thing here is, in case you're wondering about like the contract left on Andrew Wiggins, again, they're looking to explore trades for the forward. He has 2 seasons left on his contract. He's due $28 million in the upcoming season and $30 million the season after. So not even that bad of a price depending on how good he is. Dealing Wiggins for an expiring contract or a player with a cheaper salary would help get the Heat closer to having the max level cap space in the 2026 offseason. Bingo, of course, Rui Hachimura there not only is better for, the sake of being able to help the Heat and what they need, but it's also, of course, in the same vein, specifically about, being an expiring contract, but also helping take some of the load off of the Miami Heat and what they currently have with their team, which, the Heat are an absolute, dumpster fire. It's a very interesting one. Now, looking back at that some more, let's look at his stats. He had a very strong finish to his year in Miami. 17 games played, 19 points a game, very solid defensively, averaging a steal and a block. Like, he would fit really well, I think, in the Rui Hachimura spot. And he provides some defensive upside that Rui doesn't have. It provides not quite as good shooting as Rui Hachimura, and it'll be yet to be seen how good of a fit he is. And I called him a veteran. He's only 29 years old, but of course, he's been with so many teams now, the Heat, the Warriors, and Minnesota. And then, of course, his fourth team here with, assuming the Lakers, whatever team ends up getting him. He just fits really well into the system, and I think he fits better than Rui Hachimura would, just for the simple, you could put him as a point-of-attack defender. We saw in his year in Golden State when he was an all-star, elite defender, helped, through the Warriors' postseason runs. It just makes all the sense in the world to me to package him in a deal. And we all like Rui Hachimura. We all love him. He fit alongside perfectly with Luka Doncic offensively. But this team is looking for a shakeup. They're looking for a change defensively. And Andrew Wiggins, despite a lot of popular beliefs here, and obviously, again, it would just be a perfect fit, at least in my mind. But I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comment section. Is this a deal you think would make sense? Do you think that a Rui for Wiggins swap would be something that, obviously the Heat seem to be entertaining it, or at least would be open to entertaining it, considering their requirements that came out today for a trade lines up exactly with what the Lakers not only want, but what seemingly like they need in a deal back for Andrew Wiggins. And as you look at like the Lakers roster spot and how it would fit with Andrew Wiggins, Doncic, Reaves, we'll assume they keep Reaves, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron, and a center. Maybe throw in Walker Kessler there if you're adventurous. Throw in whoever you want out there, right? DeAndre Ayton. I know a lot of you guys hate him. I think it makes a lot more sense in the grand scheme of things to have a guy like Andrew Wiggins in the starting lineup compared to Rui Hachimura. Rui's a better shooter. I think Wiggins has higher upside as a 3-level scorer, a much higher upside as a defender. He is a very, he's under contract for a couple more years. I just love the deal, and everything is falling perfectly into place, and the Lakers are heavy, heavy favorites to land Andrew Wiggins, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes to fruition as draft day approaches in the coming hours here. This is still something that can happen easily after draft day. I don't think this is just a one-and-done deal. It is definitely not a, you finish all your work by the end of the day today. There's a lot of things that are going to be happening. Pelinka's moving in silence, and something big is brewing in Los Angeles, and I'm excited to keep you up to date with all the latest news, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below once again what your thoughts are on this deal, what other deals you see happening, and your prediction for the NBA draft tonight. Maybe the Lakers trade into the lottery or something like that. Crazier things have happened. We'll keep you up to date. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.